Coming up on Lexington Now, 20 years of the Citizen Police Academy, a tech business has its official opening, and government television has a new home. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. I'm Roberts, and welcome to another edition of Lexington Now, where we give you an inside look at what's going on around the urban county government. Lexington Citizen Police Academy is celebrating 20 years of bringing law enforcement and citizens together through education and engagement, and through the efforts of the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. Here's more about the program and the celebration.
I was fortunate enough to kind of come into the academy behind Officer Debbie Wagner. She was pretty much the mentor that planted the seed that kind of came up with the idea back in '97 when it actually got started, to kind of provide a opportunity for the citizens of Lexington to come in and take a view of your police department. You can come in and kind of watch exactly what the police recruits go through. You can see how they're trained. You can talk to the training staff, you know, the theories behind why we do what we do, and giving them a chance to kind of make up their own minds. It's really education is really what it's all about, versus kind of having someone else kind of dictate, you know, your thoughts and processes about police work and why did he or she make a decision to do it like that. If you kind of come in and you spend a little bit of time vested, it's free. We just do it one night a week, about 3 hours. Usually have a meal before we get started, have a qualified instructor come in, get all your questions answered. A lot of it's hands-on, a big part of it's lecture as well. But it just really doesn't make sense not to take that opportunity to kind of come in and take a look at the, I guess, the legal authority there in your community and what you can expect them to be doing. You know, it's if you have a question about, okay, why is there one police officer out on that stop? Why is there 3 or 4 out on this one? Just commonly asked questions that you can get taken care of, and you can kind of get your own mind, I guess, around, you know, what exactly it is that we do, be educated and share it with others. That's really what it's about. It's a simple concept, but obviously if you're the authority in your community, your people should have the opportunity to come in and see what you do and why you're doing it.
We have a motto, back the blue, and that's what we do. We back the blue in many different ways. And we teach that. After I graduated from the academy, that's when I said that the Alumni Association is just one step further. You can go ahead and get involved and more hands-on with more activities, doing different scenarios for them. And it's just very, very interesting, and you learn so much by doing that that you have a lot better appreciation for what the police have to go through on an everyday basis. Talk to my friends, talk to the public, and let them know that the police really are not against the public. They're there to help us, and they're just all-around great people. We want to be the spokesperson for them, for the average citizen out on the street. To me, that's a privilege to get to know the officers. They're just like anybody else. They're like us. They want to go to work, go home in the evening, spend time with their family, and so forth like that. And that's what we try to portray that the officers are. And if you need help, don't be afraid to go up and talk to them. They're more than willing to talk to anybody, anytime, any place.
Well, the Citizens Police Academy is one of the most important things we do here in Lexington, because it brings the opportunity for people in our community to learn about our agency and learn about the officers, which I think are the most tremendous asset that our agency has. And once you join the Citizens Police Academy, they continue it on with our Alumni Association. That Alumni Association provides support, not only financially, but also to the officers every day when they're out working. They oftentimes get to be able to say things that we're unable to say, or talking to the community to express concerns, or be able to say, I understand why that happened or occurred because I went through the Citizens Police Academy. We receive tremendous support from them. And right now, to be recognized like they have 4 times nationally as a Citizens Police Academy as a national standard for the country. I think that's a tremendous asset for not only Lexington, our community, but also speaks well of our Citizens Police Academy and their leadership. So we're grateful for all they do. They do a tremendous amount of work in our community. They do a tremendous amount of work for our officers, and they're always out trying to help and seek and help other people.
It's been such a tremendous success since beginning in 1997. I think what they've been able to accomplish has exceeded all of our wildest imagination and dreams. They have actually changed the culture of our police department. When I came on the police department in 1984, the culture was that you didn't bring your families around other police officers. We didn't have events to celebrate things, and it really wasn't a healthy environment from that perspective. The CPA has encouraged support of officers by holding family events and have actually really gone above and beyond. And now you go to events and you see officers who feel very comfortable bringing their kids and their families and sharing with other officers, and it's just a very healthy environment. And I attribute that to the efforts of the folks in the CPA and the Alumni Association. They've done so many things, and obviously they've done it well. They've won every award at the national level that is given to CPA alumni associations. They won the National Chapter of the Year 3 times. No other department or chapter has ever done that. We won Coordinator of the Year, Most Supportive Agency of the Year. We've swept all the awards that are given at the national level for this effort. And it's just certainly a great tribute to the people who've been involved and given their time and talents and efforts.
I've had the pleasure of working with the Citizens Police Academy every year. This is a fantastic organization. So if you haven't been in it and you have an interest in learning about our police department, please do this. This particular academy in Lexington has received several national awards as being the best in the country. And the citizens who get to come learn every aspect of the criminal justice system. I've had the chance to be able to talk to them about what I do and what our office does. So I would encourage you, if you have an interest in learning a little bit more about what we do in Lexington with the police department and the criminal justice system, join up.
The community learns about the police department, and when individuals participate in the Citizens Police Academy, they learn what an officer does every day. It's been my experience they develop a pretty good respect for what the police department does, and they go back into the community and they share that with their friends. So in a city like the size of Lexington, we're just not so big that every citizen shouldn't know or should know a police officer, that there should be a relationship between one another. And I think that the better the relationships are, the better job the police department does in this community. The Citizens Police Academy is also fun. I mean, I've had the pleasure of being there, talking to them. They have a great time. It's a diverse, varied group of people. They have come from very different backgrounds, all kinds of backgrounds, and they get to share with one another their own experiences with law enforcement, and sometimes they have very different experiences with law enforcement. But in the sharing, again, I think that respect and understanding is developed, and the more that we know each other, the more we respect and understand one another, the better place Lexington is to live.
Goodness, I can't believe, and I hate to admit it's been 20 years, but thank you all for all that you've done, all you continue to do. You're the best.
Congratulations on 20 years of success here in Lexington. I remember when it first started off, people were skeptical, and it's probably the best thing our agency has done. And especially the last 2.5, 3 years that the country has seen, it's probably one of the most community-involved programs that we have. So congratulations on 20 great positive years for Lexington Citizens Police Academy.
For more information, you can visit the city's website. It's lexingtonky.gov. And coming up after the break, if you're hungry for a great story, we've got something for you. to the show. Well, if you're like me, you like to use your phone for just about everything, especially when it comes to emojis and texting. And that's good news for Lexington when it comes to our job economy, because a new text firm called Fuji has officially opened its headquarters right in the heart of Lexington. It already has 64 employees, and texting and phones are right at the center of what they do. Our cameras were there as Mayor Jim Gray welcomed them to town.
There are so many things to celebrate here today. To celebrate a new company with 41 new full-time jobs, and that brings you all up to a total of 64, including your satellite locations in Los Angeles and in LA. So it brings them up to 64 total jobs. And this is a big success also that's attributable to our Jobs Fund. Our Jobs Fund was a unique local incentive program that was developed just a very few years ago to help companies like Fuji grow in Lexington. And we're seeing the fruits of that right here today. You know, we're also seeing the result of investment in our unique older properties in town. It wasn't that long ago that a building like this would have been considered just useless. And you look at it today and you look at the creativity that is being displayed, the creativity that's being engaged in this facility. And I would say, how you guys like this? You like it here? All right, I love it. I love it. That's great. So, yeah, I've got I'm looking at some of my notes here. I'm getting off script a lot here. Y'all forgive me. But it's also exciting because it wasn't that long ago. Actually, when Fuji applied for our Jobs Fund, they just had 5 employees. And now, as Greg said, now there's 64. Now, what is it about a city that attracts a company like this? Well, we know that quality of life, a high quality of life, is a big part of that. 50 years ago, when a company like IBM moved to Kentucky, well, people moved to where the jobs were. But in today's world, jobs move to where the people are. And people are moving to where there's a high quality of life. And that's what Lexington is offering. Our quality of life is a key driver of the economy. It's the reason people move here. It's the reason they create businesses here. And we see that right here today. In the last 6 years, Lexington has created just over 15,000 new jobs. More employed in Lexington today than at any time in the city's history. Our unemployment rate's gone from 7.7% in 2011 to just over 4% today. And importantly, our workforce participation rate is well above state and national averages, meaning those who want to work are finding jobs in Lexington and Fayette County. And employers find the employees they need in a highly educated workforce here in our university city. So I want to say one more time, congratulations, a big congratulations to Fuji. We are so glad that you have chosen Lexington to live and to work and to stay.
So my co-founder and I, this actually was born out of a really silly idea. The idea was, what do we want for lunch? It's always like a really hard thing for us. And I know that sounds silly, but if you think about like, what are you gonna have for lunch today? Well, now I gotta fight around menus, I gotta figure out what I want, right? It's kind of a process. And so Eric and I wanted to build a service that was, okay, are you guys familiar with the emojis, these little emoji like characters on your keyboard? What about if I could send that emoji in and then get that food delivered to me, $15 flat? And with a partnership through Grubhub, you guys might be familiar with Grubhub to do food delivery, we built this product. And we built it in 7 days. We built it really, really quick. And this is back in 2015. When we launched it, because it's so silly and novel, we had a lot of press around that. And Mashable, New York Times, Good Morning America, a lot of visibility came to the product. And that brought big brands. Brands wanted to do partnerships with us. They wanted to do this promotion. And they didn't really care about the delivery. They cared about the order was happening on a social network. And so this was an engagement point for them and their fans, right? You have people following on social media. What about if I could say, hey, you want a free meal, just say something on social and you can get it. And so that was the idea that really stuck. And so in January of 2016, we pivoted the business to that. We've worked with the likes of Warner Brothers and Fox, GSK and Toyota and Budweiser, and it kind of runs the gamut in terms of the types of industries that we work with. And again, that's all business happening in Lexington, right? Our headquarters is based here. It's always really, really fun to go into these client meetings and they ask, hey, yeah, where are you guys based, right? And they're typically waiting for the LA answer, the New York answer, and being able to tell them we're based in Lexington is great. And they always, yeah. And it's always a fun point of conversation, and they're very surprised. I think our team, and obviously I want to thank the team, like the work that they've done and what we've been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time is just incredible. And so it speaks to the level of service and the type of product that we're creating and producing here in Lexington, being able to rival those that are based in LA and San Francisco and New York. So I think what we've built here is really, really special. We just opened an LA sales office to help us sell through. We have a lot of media and entertainment clients based in LA. We're continuing to ramp up, and we look forward to the continued partnership with the City of Lexington, Commerce Lexington, the state, to continue to grow this here locally in Lexington and keep the headquarters here.
3, 2, 1.
For more information about this new company, you can visit their website. It's Fuji.com. Some big changes have happened for government television. After 27 years on Channel 3, we've made the move up the dial to Channel 185. And along with the change in location, we've changed our name. GTV3 is now Lex TV.
The transition from GTV3 on cable channel 3 to Lex TV on channel 185, the content will stay the same. We're still going to be televising over 400 hours of live meeting coverage every year. That's really the backbone of why Lex TV exists, is to televise meetings, to bring that meeting, that government meeting from the council chamber in the government center to a citizen's home, so they can be up to speed, up to date on what their council members are discussing and how they're voting. Alongside that, we also do another 300 hours or so of original programming every year. Programming's for parks, programming's for council members, programming for environmental quality. We do a weekly news program. All that's going to stay the same as well. We're not changing any of our programming. We're just changing the channel number from 3 to channel 185. The second transition is converting the station from a standard definition studio to a high definition studio. Behind me is a new control room we installed back in January. We have installed some other new high definition equipment. So when Spectrum allows us to have a high definition channel, all we have to do is unplug one cable and plug in another, and we'll be high definition on Spectrum cable. I think it's important to be high definition because of the information that's coming across to the citizens. Not all of it is through word of mouth. A lot of times during council committee meetings and planning commission meetings, there's a lot of PowerPoint type of information, a lot of text information that's coming across. And when you put a standard definition signal into a high definition television, it gets kind of blurry. So I think it's very important for that and other reasons that the station become high definition on Spectrum. To find the program schedule, when meetings are going to air and when some of our original programming is going to air, citizens can go to www.lexingtonky.gov/LexTV. and that will take them right to our landing page. You can, from that point, you can access the live streaming, which we do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also access the archived videos of meetings from the past. We have a YouTube channel as well. Lex TV's YouTube channel is Lex TV. And what we put on the Lex TV YouTube channel is programming that we produce in-house. We also have a new high definition, what we call fly package. And this is basically a portable studio that allows us to go out into the field and produce high definition programming for air and for the web. And recently we started doing Dirt Bowl basketball games. The Dirt Bowl is a long tradition in Lexington of these basketball games in Douglas Park. Well, recently we started televising those games. And this equipment, this new fly package equipment that we have, which is basically a smaller version of what's behind me, allows us to go out and do that. This is a big event for parks, and I love that we could support parks with this event. And so we're really excited about the things that we're going to do in the future at Lex TV. I'm always excited the things that we can do with the equipment that we're allowed to have and the staff that we have. Bigger and better things are coming. One of the things I'm looking forward to in the near future will be virtual sets in our studio. Right now we have a fixed set, and in the very near future what this equipment here will allow us to do will be to have virtual sets. And that's what's going to get people's attention. That's what's going to make them want to stop and go, what is this? This is interesting looking. And then if you catch them with the eye, you can give them the information that they need.
The council is back from summer recess, so that means we've got a busy week and lots of televised meetings, including the council work session on Tuesday, the Urban County Arts Review Board on Wednesday, and the council meeting on Thursday. You can catch these meetings live as well as our other programming on Lex TV, channel 185, or online at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Lexington Now. We'll return next week with more news from your Urban County government, but in the meantime, you can keep up with what we're doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also get 24/7 traffic updates by following us on Twitter. Our handle for that is @LexRex. Or if you're one of those folks who likes to see exactly what's going on, you can check out our live interactive cameras. They're on the city's website. You know where to find us, lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers at Lex TV, I'm Sherelle Roberts, and that's it for now.